They say it happens more than you realize. Good evening, I'm Kiahi Tucker.
And I'm Kim Janala. Pilots tell us they're so exhausted they fall asleep at the controls.
Tonight, more proof and more controversy. We first broke the story about two Go Airlines pilots who may have slept on a flight to Hilo 2 weeks ago. As the FAA and Mesa Airlines continue their investigations, we go in depth tonight with an outpouring of new details from inside the industry. KGMB9's Stacy Lowe has more in our top story.
Since our story aired, I've received more than 60 emails from pilots across the country. Many claim to be current or former Mesa employees who say this is a problem that needs to be addressed. Some of their claims are chilling. When you fly, do you know how rested your pilots are? In almost every email we received, it was the same story. Pilots saying fatigue is a real factor and sleeping in the cockpit happens more often than passengers realize. I have personally flown flights with captains that have fallen asleep, writes one pilot for Mesa, which owns Go Airlines. Another we spoke to admits he's done it, but says he is not proud of it.
I have fallen asleep. There have been times I've told the other crew members, hey, look, man, I'm out. You have the airplane.
According to FAA regulations, pilots can fly for 8 hours, but can be on duty up to 16 hours a day. One former Mesa pilot says long days were standard practice at the airlines where he flew for 6 years.
There were many, many times that we would be on for 16 hours and just be completely wiped out. And depending on if it was a 3 or 4 day trip, that could be day 1 or day 2, and you still had 2 more days to go.
Another former Mesa pilot tells KGMB9 he recently resigned during a trip that included flying and commute time that would have approached 22 hours. This copy of his schedule confirms that.
And then after that, they wanted me to have a minimum rest of 9 hours off again and go back to work. And I just didn't find it plausible. It was absolutely incredible.
The rules allow a minimum of 8 hours of rest time. It starts shortly after the pilots land the plane. But it doesn't mean a crew member is getting 8 hours of sleep.
From that point, you still need to get off the airplane, get your stuff out, walk out, go wait for a shuttle bus. That can be another 10 to 15 minutes. Then it could be another 20 minutes to get to the hotel, get into your room.
All airlines have a policy designed to protect pilots. Those who are too tired to fly can call in fatigued without fear of retribution. But a former Mesa pilot says it's not that easy.
Calling fatigue just because you're tired. If a schedule is technically legal, FAA minimum legal, then it's not enough. It's not enough of a reason.
Mesa CEO Jonathan Ornstein says we don't write the rules, we abide by them. We've done it for 25 years and will continue to do so for the next 25 years. But does legal mean safe? The FAA says yes.
We believe the current work rule hours are sufficient and effective. It's really up to pilots and to the airlines to ensure that pilots are properly rested.
The FAA considered changing the rules back in 1995, but couldn't reach a consensus with the aviation community. Pilot fatigue is on the National Transportation Safety Board's most wanted list when it comes to safety improvements. The agency asked the FAA to modify its rules to take into consideration research findings in fatigue and sleep issues. On its website, the NTSB says the FAA's response on this issue has been unacceptable.
We take everything the NTSB says very seriously, and in many cases we do implement the recommendations.
But not soon enough for pilots who say until the flight rules are changed, fatigue will remain a factor in the skies. The FAA says if in fact pilots are falling asleep in the cockpits or if their company has forced them to fly when they've been too tired, they want to know about it. Only then can the agency do something about it. Stacy Lowe, KGMB 9 News.